From the home of the Bills since way back in 1973, there's a look at Bills Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you think about our quarterback matchup here. We got a couple of guys who are definitely dangerous when you get down near the red zone. Russell Wilson and Josh Allen.
And you used the perfect word there, Brandon, dangerous. Yeah, they're dangerous just about anywhere on the field, but the red zone, that's where they absolutely excel, and I think it's because they can keep defenses off balance. You know they can run, you know they can pass. The RPOs come into play, but the biggest thing is when the pocket breaks down, they can create something out of nothing and sting a defense.
And we are underway in Buffalo. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 3rd down, Wilson flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Come on, baby. Let's go. That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the draw, here's Williams. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Nyheim Hines, his first carry, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. To the air, Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Play action. Now it's Allen. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, get him with the football, and they picked up the first down. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Fights loose. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. On play action, Allen. He completes it to the tight end, Knox. And the Bills are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Here's Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. A 1-yard touchdown pass, and the Bills have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no and score a touchdown.
Now for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
2nd down and 3. Now Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Allen now looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that in. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
47 's the mic, boy. 47. Check.
A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Denver. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for the Bills, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no thought of a return here for Hines.
Let's go.
The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
It got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain there for the Bills. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter. Harris, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run with Hines, and he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Bills are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Big hold of the 30, and finally brought down at the 34-yard line.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And he stopped immediately there. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Allen going to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. From midfield, here's Allen. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Now Allen again. Finding Knox there, complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. This is caught. Touchdown, Bills. Dawson Knox, a touchdown grab from Josh Allen. And the Bills are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give him a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Bass on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Wilson on first down, being chased out left. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Let's go. Let's go.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Russell Wilson scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
But he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Buffalo set to get the football back here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And Denver getting set to take the field. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Ed Oliver that time to want to get in there and bring him down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's got room to run past the 20. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Let's go. Let's go.
Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson out to his left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. 7th play in this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Wilson to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points,